difficult one, because you don't want to sound negative and you don't want to sound too in your face, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's giving a realistic answer and people trying to take that on board, like I say, without being one way or the other. So that's probably the hardest one, how you get around that, because at the end of the day we want to win the league, as simple as that, but you have to look at the big picture.
Okay, you're in a profession where obviously you get a lot of criticism. Okay, have you ever read anything about you know, been really upset about, and have you got such a thick skin being a football manager for this long now? Have you ever read anything where you've got really angry having read it, that's really sort of made your blood boil?
No, I haven't. I think that helps when you've played, and you've played maybe in certain situations where there's been quite a few supporters there and you've had criticism possibly from away supporters or home supporters, so you sort of get used to it and you get this shield up, and what you just have to do is try not to read too much. There's always, like you say, criticism in this game, because it's the easiest game ever from the sidelines. It's not until you're actually in it and you make decisions what you think are right, but obviously sometimes they don't work out, and when they don't work out everyone wants to jump on board and tell you why they didn't work out. And you know, there's some great pundits on these Sky cameras, TVs, doing all these analysing games after games, but sometimes I just wonder to myself, why aren't they managers? Why don't they take that challenge on?
You got a lot of criticism last year from Gillingham fans with regard to the away record. Okay, I think it's 6 draws, 49 goals conceded. Obviously, the first away win Barnet get this season, it's going to be a massive relief for you, because it's been quite a while coming. You know, how are you going to address the sort of monkey on your back, so to speak, of travelling and going away from home, having gone the whole season last season without, you know, winning a game?
First of all, I accept that criticism, because it was a record that no one was proud of, and it hurt me because I just didn't see it coming. And some of the games we should have won comfortably. You know, if she was actually there to come away losing a game or drawing a game, I think it was 3 or 4 occasions we were winning with a minute to go, and a couple of times I remember the one at Hartlepool, a kid hit a 35-yard shot with his weak foot and he's got in the top corner. And the last away game I actually won was at Wembley in the playoff final. So this season I always try to get the teams to attack the game, whether you're home or away. And again, looking back last season, our home record was phenomenal. We beat every top 9 side at home, but couldn't win a away game. But that's gone. We'll go this year wherever we go with Barnet, and we'll be positive and we'll get out to a win. So I think that's the only way you can.
You talked about Barnet's home record this season. Obviously, it's very important to play well at home. Is that one of your targets? You know, maybe to go with 1 or 2 defeats at home this season. Is that one of your main targets?
That's what we're trying to do. It's important to play well, whether it's home or away. And the more games you can play well in the season, the more opportunity you've got of winning those games. And I think all home supporters, you get more at home than you do on away trips, so the home supporters really enjoy the wins and it creates that buzz, but also it is nice to go away from home, especially on a long trip, and win, because for players and managers and supporters it makes the trip a lot better on the way back. So we're going to try and have a decent home record and obviously pick up some points away as well.
Okay, so as a player and now a manager, are there teams or grounds that you particularly enjoy playing at, or teams you enjoy playing against? What's the, you know, the third round of the FA Cup in January, Barnet's, you know, ball comes out, who would you like? Which ground have you played at you thought, yeah, this is what football's all about?
The grounds I liked was the Old Den and West Ham and Roker Park, especially when you're playing for Newcastle, because it's, you know, you don't have to get motivated, the buzz is there, and as soon as you walk on the pitch you just feel this adrenaline rush through your body, and you just can't wait for the referee to blow his whistle. As a manager it'd be the same. That FA Cup tie it's got to be one of the big boys, isn't it? Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man City. Get the ground full, make it an atmosphere, and also the position we're in financially is fantastic as well.
I mean, that feeling when you're standing there, you mentioned it, you know, obviously the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. Better than sex?
Very, very close.
Okay. Right, we've got a few sort of very loose questions, very sort of frivolous questions to finish off with. Does your wife enjoy your job?
Yeah, I think so. She's been with me a long time. We've been together since we were 15. and she's moved around the country with me, and she's been there for me when it ain't been going too good, and there obviously when it is going good, and we just sort of. I listen to a lot of experienced managers and a lot of senior people in the game I speak to, and they just said just try and ride it the same way. Don't get too high and don't get too low. But my wife's a big strong point for me, because there have been some times when, especially last season, you come home from a long trip away from home, got beat again, and it's an horrible experience, especially when you've got 3 children and the Sunday should be family day, but it obviously can't be because you're still disappointed from the day before. But she gets me over that, and she's a rock for me, and that's important.
So would you beat yourself up about it? You know, you've been for a long trip away, you've come back, you've lost. What do you do? Sit there, watch a video of the game on the Sunday, or go out and play a game of golf to relax?
Certainly not golf. Watch the video, unfortunately, shut myself away, watch the video, and then try and have lunch with the children and the wife, and just then try and enjoy a couple of hours before the game comes on at 4 o'clock on Sky, and watch how the real players do it.
So your wife's definitely a football widow?
Unfortunately she is, yes.
Okay, what's your favourite TV show?
Oh, you've hit me there. It's I think my family would say to you it's Sky Sports News.
Sky Sports News. Right, so what's the last CD you bought or downloaded?
A long while ago. I have CDs bought for me from people to try and keep me up to date with music, but again it's probably in the car. 909, listen to the sport, and if a CD comes on, it comes on. That's for the kids banging and putting it on, but normally I'd turn it straight off and try and get some more sport inside me.
What's your favourite biscuit?
Biscuit, unfortunately I'm a celiac, so I can't eat many biscuits, so I have to buy special biscuits. And
What's the celiac?
Celiac is I've got a wheat and gluten allergy.
Oh,
I can't eat wheat and gluten, and it's great for keeping the weight down, but it's not so good when you want to tuck into a nice chocolate digestive, because that won't do me any good. So I have to buy my own biscuits, and they don't really taste that good, so I stay clear of them and make up for it for a bit of dairy milk when I can.
Okay, I've got a Facebook account, and last night I asked a couple of mates what question they'd ask you. I don't know where this one came from. Longest time you've been without a shower for?
Shower for? Wow, strange question.
Have you ever been to a festival? You know, you've done a sort of Rob Green. You've gone away for a festival, or you've done some army boot camp. You haven't had a shower for a week. I don't know why I should. I don't really want to know, but I'm just.
No, certainly not. I don't go. It's every day, isn't it? It's just like brushing your teeth.
Okay, cats or dogs?
Got both.
Oh yeah. Okay, one
for
or
the
the
kids. That's for the kids.
Okay, and 3 items you would take to a desert island. What could you not live without?
I think it has to be the mobile phone, doesn't it? I think that's just become second nature now. Obviously, we're not talking humans here, are we? We're just talking gadgets. I'd have to say a mobile phone, a football, and as much water as you can, because people get to know me, especially at Barnet. I'm teetotal as well, so I'd have to just keep my supply of water on tap.
Okay, and if you could meet anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be? Who were your heroes growing up? Who would you really like to have met?
That is a big question.
First of all, your football heroes growing up.
Football. Well, when I was growing up, it's Liam Brady, and obviously I've met Liam. Spoke to him many times about certain players. I think from where I'm from, and probably family, I'd have to say obviously Bobby Moore would have been someone I'd love to have had 10 minutes with and asked millions of questions. And then I was fortunate enough to play with one of my heroes in Paul Gascoigne, and I think he's probably the best player I've ever seen. And I can't really say apart from that, or if someone's not with us now, I'd like to have met.
Okay, and one last question, just to round off. If you could give a message to the Barnet fans for this season, what would it be in a nutshell?
Try not to speak on a Friday and a Saturday morning, and just bring as much noise and volume through your throats as possible, because all players love to have a good backing from their support, and I know it has to be another way, the fans have to get from the players, but if you can, just bring your voices and make as much noise as possible, because my own experience is when the place is rocking, you can't beat it.
Okay, Mark Stimson, Thanks very much for joining us.